What's up, you guys? So today I wanted to make this video because recently, the last week or two, I've been on YouTube a lot looking up basically like how-to videos all about YouTube and starting a channel or growing a channel, tips and tricks that people wish they would have known when they started that they're telling everybody else. So I've been finding a lot of videos that have been really helpful, but others that have been, I feel like, giving false information or just not giving the best information, I guess. Or they're giving, you know, links to websites or products that are more expensive than others that I have found through other people's videos. So I kind of put together my own list of things that I've learned over the last couple of weeks, and I want to share them. For anyone who is just starting a channel, or maybe you've had your channel for a long time like me and are just now really starting to get into it. So like I said, I've had my channel for a really long time. I have some really old videos and then I just stopped posting anything. And so recently I've been trying to get back into a schedule. I post mostly singing videos, so you should definitely check those out. I'll put a card to one here. And if you like what you hear /see, you should definitely subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell next to the subscribe button, or else you won't get notified when I post a new video and you might miss it, and that would suck for you. So my first thing is camera. Most people, you know, are saying the same things. I'm just gonna kind of reiterate because it's been pretty accurate. So if you have just a camera phone, so like your iPhone, that will work totally fine. The quality is almost as good as really expensive cameras now, so sit down, record on here. One thing though, don't record vertically, hold it horizontally. That way when you upload, it fills the whole screen and there's not like these two blocked out panels here and it's just the width like this. So hold it horizontally. If you are gonna do this, I would actually recommend, if you don't, I'm sure everybody literally has a pop socket, but this helps because you can set it down on the table or wherever and it holds it up for you. You don't have to worry about it. So then if you're looking to upgrade, you can always go for the point and shoot cameras, which is just, you know, your basic camera, digital camera, or camcorder. Now, I feel like if you're going cheap end on those, then your iPhone might actually be better quality than those, so maybe you just want to stick with your iPhone until you can get something like a DSLR, which is what I record on. But no matter what you're going to get, I highly recommend something with a screen that flips out and rotates so you can see yourself. So right now I can see myself on the side there, so that really helps when you're trying to set up, you know, your whole setup. You can actually see yourself and make sure that you're in focus and, you know, your background is blah blah blah. So the sun's going away, I'm sorry. The next thing is lighting. This is something that I think that, you know, everyone's usually pretty straight across the board with as well, is the lighting. Here comes the sun. So as you can see, I right now just have natural light. So I just have my ceiling light on. I have a window to my right open and also one behind me off camera open. So to get a little bit more light in the room, my lighting could be better. I have soft boxes on the way. But for now, this is totally fine. So if you find a place in your house, a window or doorway or something where there's really great light, even at like a certain point in the day, kind of have to just look out for it, just set up some boxes, put your phone on it, and record right in front of the window. So my next thing about lighting is when you do get to the step where you want to purchase some lighting. Now, this is something that has really bothered me that I've watched lately. People always recommending ring lights, which ring lights are great. So ring lights are exactly what it sounds like, a ring light, and it goes right in front of your camera and it gives you this really nice lighting. I think they're really good for like beauty makeup, so you have like really bright studio light, and that's fine, but they are more expensive even on Amazon, like $100 and something. Where you can go on Amazon and get something called softbox lighting, and that's more of like a natural studio light. They're not so harsh, and the one that I just purchased was like $50 something. So, and it's a set of two. So you get 2 softbox lights. You set one up on the left of you facing at you, one on the right facing at you off camera, and it gives great studio light, enough to, you know, illuminate your face and your background. You don't need anything crazy, so you don't have to jump right into an expensive ring light unless that's what you're wanting. When I watched the video, that annoyed me so bad. I was like, no, you don't need a ring light. There's so many cheaper options that are like just as good. And like I said, that kind of just depends on what kind of lighting you're wanting. If you want that really bright beauty light on you, or like a softer, hence softbox. The next thing would kind of go with the camera is a microphone. Now you don't need a microphone, of course, once you upgrade to something like a DSLR. It's not necessary. The mic on the cameras is fine, and in video editors you can actually edit the volume, so it's not necessary. Something up from that would be a shotgun mic, and that gives you a little bit better quality. Of course, there are like super expensive microphones you can use. I don't have that. I feel like it's probably not necessary. I got a shotgun mic with my kit when I bought my camera. So it's something that just sits on the top of the camera in, I think it's called a shoe, but it just slides in. You lock it down into place, plug it into your camera, and there you go. You have a little bit better sound on your blah 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 blah. You have a little bit better sound on your video, but again, not completely necessary. Oh, not completely necessary. Let me just knock you over real quick. Oh, the next thing would be music. So this is something else that has really bothered me. People will recommend different websites where you can get royalty-free music. I don't know why I did that. So that means you won't get copywritten. So if you use like songs from today, you can get copywritten. They can shut down the video, nobody can see it, and then there goes all your hard work with your video. So you can get royalty-free music, and this is where I've heard people giving options for different websites, but you have to pay. So there's one, it's called Epidemic Sound. So if you're okay with paying for it, then go for it. You have to like purchase a subscription, or if you have, you know, a lot of subscribers and views, you can actually get like sponsored by them and get the music for free. It's not free if you're paying for a subscription every month. So YouTube now actually has royalty-free music. It's a library of thousands and thousands of songs. So once you upload your video onto YouTube, you go into the YouTube studio, and you can choose from tons of music there. So it's not necessary to go and pay for royalty-free music. That's just kind of dumb in my opinion. So one tip though about the royalty-free music on YouTube, it can only be so quiet, I've noticed when I've tried to add it into my videos. Even though I turned up the volume for like the video, my voice, the royalty-free music was still almost too loud, even at the lowest setting. That's one thing to keep in mind. Make sure that your audio on your video is loud enough. So the next thing would be editing software. This is something else I've heard kind of mixed about. People saying, oh, you should buy Final Cut Pro and blah, 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 which again, I don't think is necessary. So my last laptop, I had an HP, and I just had, Movie Maker. I couldn't remember what it's called. It's called Movie Maker, and that's free to download. So if you are looking for a free option, especially if you're just getting started, you don't need any like crazy editing software. It's not necessary. Plus you're just learning, so you probably won't even use half the stuff on it anyway. So there's Movie Maker, and then of course for Macs there is iMovie, and that is free as well on the Mac. So you don't necessarily need to buy Final Cut Pro or any of the other ones. There's a squirrel! In the future, if you feel like you want to upgrade and have kind of more options, then you can do that, but the cheap one, or the free ones work fine. Especially iMovie. I love iMovie. Like, especially compared to Movie Maker. That's kind of why I went with a MacBook. Well, one of the reasons. I'm a singer, so, you know, GarageBand is like much better than what I was using. and so much easier, so user-friendly. Anyway, Movie Maker is great. You can do so many different things with Movie Maker. You know, adding different effects and different, you know, editing cute things. You can do your whole Emma Chamberlain thing on there. It works totally fine. So the next thing that I've heard people talking about that kind of irks me is photo editors. So a big one is PicMonkey for editing thumbnails and things like that. So PicMonkey is fine. You can do so much on there before you have to start paying for it. So I was trying to update my banner, my channel art, so that's what appears right by your photo on your YouTube page. I wanted to edit that and make it a little bit better. So I watched some videos, people recommended PicMonkey. I was like, cool. So I went on PicMonkey and literally spent like a couple hours, like, you know, adding layers in and photos and things like that, and it looked perfect. And I got to the end and hit upload, and you had to pay. So you can do a free trial, and then that obviously turns into a paid subscription. I was so mad. I was like, I just spent all this time doing this. So I kind of like scratched it for a little while, and then I watched a video somebody made about a website called Canva. It's canva.com. And with Canva, it is free. There are, of course, options where you have to pay if you want like certain backgrounds or whatever that are like prettier or nicer or whatever. You pay for those, but there's a lot of free options. On Canva, there's an option for a YouTube banner specifically. So like out of the templates, YouTube banner. So instead of having to go on YouTube and download their templates to use on certain websites, Canva already has it with the right dimensions and everything. So you can just double click that one and go and do what you gotta do. You can add text and backgrounds and layer things in. That's another little tip, is when you're making something like that, you can actually go onto Google and, you know, if you want a certain kind of background, like a watercolor background, you just type that in, save the picture, put it onto Canva. Another thing with my channel art that I did is I have layered in like a transparent music note thing that has like a microphone and keyboard, stuff like that on it. So I downloaded that, put it on Canva, and put the transparency down so it kind of looks like it's in the background of everything. So those are just some tips. Just go right onto Google and find whatever you want to add in. Canva.com, it's great. I love it. It's actually free. You can actually download it for free when you're done with your project. And my last little tip is share your videos on social media. I didn't do this for a long time because I was like almost embarrassed to, like, I'm not embarrassed for random people to see my stuff, but people I know and like friends and my mom's friends and stuff like that, I was so embarrassed for some reason to share it on like Facebook and to have people see it, which is weird. That's the whole point, right? But recently with my last few videos, I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna annoy the heck out of people and post this daily. And I did, and my mom shared it, and a bunch of her friends saw it, and some of them shared it. So my channel has grown so much even in just the last week. And I say so much, it's a lot for me. For someone else, it's probably like puny amount, but I think it's really good. My dogs are barking. Hang on. What is they even barking at? Oh, there's a guy out there. Awkward. Awkward. We're just gonna try and wait for them to shut up, because I don't know if you can actually hear them or not. So yes, don't be like ashamed or they won't shut up. Hey! This is probably really loud, I'm sorry. So don't be like ashamed or feel weird about just posting it all over your social media. You might feel awkward at first knowing like people you work with have seen it, which I feel weird, but who cares? And don't feel weird about like bothering people. Bother the heck out of people. Just share it, share it, share it. Tell them to share it, tell them to subscribe, tell them to comment on your videos. Who cares? That's what we're here for. Like, you know, I'm not gonna create something and then not show people. That's something that I kind of had a hard time with. I'm like, ugh, I feel weird like being like, hey, don't forget to subscribe, because, you know, some people won't, and if you tell them, then maybe that just puts it in their head and they'll go ahead and subscribe. Speaking of, you should go and subscribe and leave me a comment and share this video with all of your friends. I'm trying to think if I left anything out. So I hope these tips helped. Don't think that you have to go out and spend all kinds of money on equipment and music and editors and things like that, because you don't. There are free options. Hopefully that helped some of you guys out. I know that when I watched these videos over the last couple of weeks and found these tips, I was like, thank God, because it was so much easier. So if this did help you out, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, you know, if you're starting a YouTube channel or restarting a YouTube channel, what's your channel about? Don't forget to subscribe.